Josue Pavon, our masked man at the upper right-hand corner here, is at the Garden, and he could be told he's got a boogie at any point in time. We don't know how long he's going to be there, but Josue's there covering the Celtics. Josue, this might be, Jimmy was joking about it, this might be worse than the last game you covered, which was the one they sent everybody home because the whole team got COVID.
Oh, it's 1,000% worse because at least that one didn't result in an L. These guys caught an L, and they caught it in a big way. No energy, completely flat. At least Kemba had some energy in that first half. At least he was attacking the rim and wasn't, he was a little bit careless with the ball here and there, but that's to be expected. But that's the only good thing that came out of this game was seeing Kemba Walker pass the eye test. And luckily, from the looks of it, he just took a bad shot in the ribs from the Knicks' big man who was just clearing out everyone today. But looks like he's okay. Brad Stevens will give us an update. But yeah, guys, this one was ugly. I think again, remember Friday night when I was talking about how the Celtics they look amazing when the 3-pointers are falling, but when they stop falling, all of a sudden the run runs dry. The well runs dry. Yeah, that's what happened here. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, like if those 3-pointers aren't falling down, Shemi, Neesmith, I mean, these guys, if they're not giving you those 3-pointers, I mean, the offense it dries up.
Yeah, it's a make-miss league, as the kids like to say, or as we said a lot.
You said that. Yeah, that's right.
As we said it a lot of times during the playoffs when we tried to overanalyze why certain games went the way that they went. We're like, well, they shot 20% from three. This was one of those nights where I'm going to go. I mean, we're going to go well past shooting here. This was maybe the worst effort of the Brad Stevens era of wire to wire for 4 quarters that any team has ever played. They played their worst 3 quarters. I mean, throw away the fourth because that doesn't even count. They played their worst 3 quarters back to back to back, the first, second, and third quarters of the entire season.
Yeah, you gotta burst the Kemba at the beginning there, like some energy from him in the early portion. You got that pick and roll to go to Thompson, but the sloppiness stemmed from him. They want to get him some time on the ball. They want to get him some comfort.
Oh, you're blaming Kemba now, Bob.
Wow. Nice. He was on the whole
quarter
when they built that deficit.
Nice.
It's necessary. They're going on the road for 9 of the next 11, so it's not going to be practice time to get them integrated. But he had just done a light walkthrough on Thursday, the pregame on Friday. That's all he's done before this. So conditioning's probably not there with him. All the comfort, flow of the game stuff. He was
but the smile was there. The smile.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine in time. But
it was so smiley.
This was pretty much just a scheduled loss. We've been trying to get him comfortable. Like this just became a practice for them and trying to integrate him again because nothing looked good. The starting lineup did not flow well around him. The bench unit did better. I think they actually had a positive advantage into the third quarter with the bench unit out there. But man, the starters got outscored by close to 30, and that was the game there.
One quick thing, and Jimmy, I want your initial thoughts, and then we'll get into Kemba. Just one quick note. When you mentioned that starting lineup, I did want to add, and we can get into it a little bit later. I think the return of Kemba here, this clearly signifies the death of the 2 big lineups. So if one good thing came out of this,
they played tonight. They came back.
I know, but they played later in the game, but it didn't start. They started Grant. Obviously, that's going to be Tatum when he slides in there, and that's going to be it. We knew that was going to happen, but it's nice to see it officially that they're probably going to go Kemba, Smart, the 2 wings, and a big with Thompson, and we're going to get into Thompson a little bit later too. But, Jimmy, your initial thoughts. We're going to get into Thompson.
My initial thoughts were, what the hell did I just spend 3 hours watching? I can't believe that we have to come on the show and talk about this game after that performance that we saw. Bobby, one thing I'll say, I thought Jaylen Brown played okay. I mean, especially – he was the only one really contributing at one point. I mean, he had some nice 3-pointers in a row there, kind of kept the Celtics within some sort of striking distance. But other than that, I mean, just a listless effort and performance from top to bottom, really. Josue, are you sure these guys don't still have COVID? I mean, the way they played out there, they looked like they didn't look like themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah, normally for the matinees, we would blame it to, them eating too much food beforehand, but not this one, man. I don't know. Things are light.
Or being out late.
Everyone is sort of.
Or, on the road. They were out at the club. It's different.
Yeah, they're out late on a Saturday night, but, what the hell are they doing last night besides going to bed? I mean, what can you do? So, I mean, it was very surprising. I mean, the Knicks are the Knicks. You've got Randall on that team, but other than that, I mean, you want to talk about Barrett a little bit. You want to talk about Toppin, but this is not a Knicks team that should be blowing anybody out of the water, never mind the Celtics.
Josue, let me ask you, since you're there, and let's kick off the Kemba conversation. on TV, a lot of people thought he looked like he was moving well. You saw him a ton in person last year at the Garden and other games, obviously covering him on the road as well. But, I mean, you saw a lot of Kemba Walker games last year. How did he look in person there where you're watching him moving around?
I thought he looked great. And I wasn't just saying that because of him scoring points. Again, it's always the eye test with Kemba. And that sort of tenacity and that relentless attack, that's the Kemba that we sort of missed throughout the postseason. We saw a little bits of it, right? We saw glimpses of that. But to see that out of the gate and to see it continue throughout, again, it wasn't pretty. It got sloppy at some parts. Tristan Thompson couldn't catch some of his passes. Some of those passes were terrible passes. Either way on either side of the fence on that one. But overall, I just thought he looked great. I just think you see the torque and the movement of that knee. Hey, that knee though, he's getting to the lane. He's not showing any resistance, and that's only going to get better as he gets more reps in.
I don't know about great, but he looked comfortable at the very least. He can twerk. He can make the adjustments, and he can do all the
things
out there
from him. Yeah, not be twerking out there.
That's about all you saw from him tonight. The shooting's not back. That worried me. He had some open looks from three that he wasn't able to nail.
But that I'm not as worried.
None of this stuff is crazy worrisome that we saw from them. The injury was when we saw him go down. It was like, is the knee aggravated again? But he took that hard bump from Noel, and that was the game for him. So like I said, this was basically a scheduled practice for Kemba.
It looked like it too. He was walking around on defense a lot of times too. I mean, it was obviously go in there, get some shots up, get some reps in. Don't press it too hard. Get out. Whatever happens, we'll take it. If honestly 2-3 more shots fall, we're like, okay, that's fine. That was pretty good. You wanted to see him jack shots. I don't care that he missed 10. You want to see him get them. And the fact that a lot of them were open is probably a good sign because that's what you want. You want him to be able to get his looks. And then you have to hope that they go down. So I'll say on that part, it was positive. On the other, he didn't look like a special. You just looked like another guy. And it's fine. He's rusty. First game back. Everyone else has been playing. They're 15 games into this thing or 12, whatever. So it's understandable. I mean, he's way behind everyone else right now.
People are looking for pizza talk already.
It's honestly a pizza talk kind of game. It's a pizza talk kind of game. Yeah, I mean,
we should have saved it. We should have saved that whole thing.
Should have started with pizza and then made them beg for us to talk about the game.
I don't think anybody's begging for us to talk about this game, but we have to fulfill our duties.